That's the exit.
Don't worry, I think it's plenty exciting. Good night. Good night.
Straight ahead is the ride. To your right is Stamps Drinks and restroom. Thank you so much for joining us here today at Universal Studios Hollywood and on the studio tour. Stroller parking will be under the awnings across from the line. Lines on your left, stroller parking is on the right.
Hey everybody, good afternoon, welcome aboard. We are going to fill up the tram completely. Before we go, there is a steady flow of people making their way over to join us. So fill in the seats to the right side and leave the available seats on. At the front of the tram is Lucas. Lucas is going to drive. Say hi to Lucas. Hi, Lucas. I've got somebody who's going to give our tour a quick introduction. Former cast member of Saturday Night Live, who now hosts The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
His name's Paul.
And the greatest drive.
His name's Lucas.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Tour guide Paul.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
We do have some safety rules as we're taking around our movie studio. If at any time during the tour you need immediate assistance, you have a medical emergency, you have accidentally dropped something important off the side of the tram, maybe you're experiencing sound issues or video issues in the car that you're in, we've got an emergency cord for that. That red cord going down the center of the tram ceiling. For any emergency, pull down on the cord and have a seat. And when it's safe to do it, we'll stop. I'll come back, I'll see what you need help with. Otherwise, throughout the entire tour, please really don't jump off the tram for any reason. Pull the cord for an emergency. Please, no smoking on the tour. That includes vaping. We want you to take pictures and videos, have your phones ready, have your cameras ready, but there's going to be some sudden tram movements. So hold on during the tour, secure your belongings so they don't fall off the side. There's going to be loud noises, fire effects, water effects, it might get a little bit wet. And because you're sitting very close to a lot of people, many strangers, please don't use selfie sticks on the tram. Don't put your phone on a pole and swing it around. So that's it for the safety rules. We are building a roller coaster on the left side of the tram. That's Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. That opens tomorrow. And there's going to be a lot of overtime. That's not going to be ready. Next year, that opens up. It's going to take us about 45 minutes to drive around the studio today. The lot covers about 400 acres. We're going to be driving by our movie sets and our sound stages. We're going to encounter some special effects along the way. The first sound stage we're going to be driving by is number 12, which is coming up on the corner of the left side of the tram. It's now the oldest sound stage we have here. Built in 1928, it's the stage where we filmed Frankenstein. The inside of the laboratory where Frankenstein built the monster was in stage 12. Dracula, also filmed in stage 12. All of these movies filmed in stage 12. The next three stages on the left side of the tram, 11, 10, and 9. This big stage off the left, 14, was used for our drama series Bel Air. But a couple weeks ago, they shot their final episode of the show. So when the show comes back for season 4 on Peacock, that's going to be the final season of the show. Peacock is a streaming service that has a lot of our content.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will open you up.
Yeah.
No, man! How was the test?
Like the Avengers, you know?
We're not at this big glass and brick building. We've just crossed the border of our studio. We had been driving past offices and sound stages of the front lot. For the rest of the tour, we drive through the back lot where we have all the sets that are too big to go inside the stages. The area that we're traveling through now is called New York Street, but it's not limited to be New York. It can be dressed up to be different cities and different states, and Jimmy Fallon can tell you a little bit more.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, like Jimmy Fallon, throughout the course of the Backlot, I'll be bringing up some celebrities on the monitors. They'll tell you about some of the areas we're going to be driving through. My next celebrity is an Academy Award-winning director, Peter Jackson, and he's going to tell you about this big building on the right side of the tram. Peter Jackson is the director of King Kong, and he's going to tell you what you should expect to see when we get to Skull Island.
The Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We are just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film, and this is another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the creatures and the characters of the Kong as they appear in the movie. It's the original King Kong that made me want
that some of you have been wearing for the whole tour. Don't lose the glasses. If you can avoid it, try not to drop them off the tram. That's going to be the only special. Like David on the rear, Wendy McClendon Covey, Allison Coleman. On the left side of the tram, there's a couple trailers for their wardrobe and their makeup. The first time we were driving through New York Street, Jimmy Fallon came up on the monitors. He told you a little bit about the sets. I'll tell you about some of the things we've been filming out here recently. We've been working on a new show called Stewart Fails to Save the Universe, which is a spin-off of The Big Bang Theory. So Kevin Sussman, who plays Stewart on the show, he's got his own show, and they've been filming down at the end of the street on the left side of the tram. There's an area back there called Courthouse Square, and that's the set they've been using. The TV show Ted films out here, using New York Street as Boston. The television show is a prequel to the two films. It takes place in the 1990s, and we'd also been using this part of Backlot as Los Angeles for Bel Air. If you're a big fan of those old black and white 1930s and 40s monster movies, there's a monster mural on the right side of the tram with a lot of those classic characters. On the tour, we're going to be driving through all the sets where those monster movies were made. And there's some stages off to the left side of the tram, 30 and 31, where we film The Voice. And The Voice was just here last week working on its 28th season. So the show has been filming here for quite some time. They removed the wall in between the stages that separates them. So they turned that into one big stage for the show. And our four voice coaches for this season are Niall Horan, Michael Bublé, Reba McEntire, and Snoop Dogg.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Snoop Dogg from The Voice, and we tape our show right here at stage 30 and 31 in the heart of the Universal Backlot. These state-of-the-art sound stages are
Elemental stuff. This location. I've never ever seen this. You're in a good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm going to pause this for a second. There's a set right in front of the tram that we're passing by. It's got two blue doors and red trim around the windows. This is where they filmed this.
I can't wait to go to a bad place. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Now, the sets that we used for 4 years for that comedy series are the same sets that we used for Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein and Dracula. Whenever there'd be a scene with a big mob of angry villagers and they've got torches and they're marching through the village hunting down monsters, that filmed out there in Little Europe.
He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can. Lock the women indoors and...
The production schedule is on the left side of the tram, ticket machine heist. Unlike when they're filming on the backlot, when they're ready to shoot inside the stage, they're not going to allow us to drive the tram through anymore. So this is a good opportunity for you to get some pictures of the set before it's closed off to the public. There's a track on the left side of the tram that runs the whole length of the stage. They built a subway train that they can roll back. Hang on, it's an earthquake. earthquake, the big one. And this takes about 10 seconds to reset. So when we're leaving the building, the train goes back into the tunnel. Everything goes back to the original position. And that's a good example of practical special effects. Unlike CGI, unlike the visual effects, practical effects are set up, they can be done live, and they don't necessarily have computer effects added to them. That's been part of the tour for 36 years. That opened back in 1989. They based it on the film Earthquake, which was released back in 1974. Now that you've just seen an earthquake, we have to calm you down. We got to take you to a peaceful part of our backlot. So we're going to go up the hill to a little island called Amity. Amity is a word that means friendship. There's a billboard. We're going to pass by the left side of the tram. Amity Island welcomes you. But we had to close Amity Beach because of the shark attacks. We caught a shark, and it's hanging on display on the hotel. Even though we caught the shark, they don't want us to reopen the beach because there's another one. There's a bigger shark on the other side of the water, and we haven't captured that one. That's a big shark. That's coming towards us. No, hey! Hey, the beach is closed! There's a shark, get out of the water! You alright? Oh. The shark ate him! Yay! This is a really old dock we're driving across. Everybody please remain seated. The shark just took the dock. It's right next to us. That's why my seat has a window. It's not fair, but it's a perk. We were just attacked by Jaws, a movie that just turned 50 years old this year. That came out in June of 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg. But that's not the mechanical shark that Steven Spielberg used in the movie. Our shark works better than his. When they were filming Jaws, they built several full-size mechanical sharks. None of them would work. They kept breaking, they kept malfunctioning. Most of the time in the movie, the only thing you see of the shark is the fin come out of the water. They put the back of the shark in a fin, and they used the special effect that we just used in front of the scuba diver. It was on a pole. They just moved the pole around. There are very few shots in Jaws where you see the full-size mechanical shark because they just didn't work. The movie went way over budget. It took a lot longer to film than it was supposed to. It cost a lot more to film than it was supposed to, all because of the sharks. But the movie made its money back. In 1975, that became the highest grossing movie of all time. We're going to stop for a minute in this set to demonstrate some very simple weather effects. We're flashing strobe lights on the left side of the tram because on film, that's going to look like lightning. And hitting the trees, there are sprinklers. We're going to turn on the sprinklers, that's going to create rain. This is how easy it is to make a storm whenever we need it on a movie set. But the problem with this special effect, we do it all day. So every time a tram stops here, it rains, and the water we use is recycled, but the set is built on a hill. So over the course of the day, a lot of water builds at the top of the hill, and at one point it overflows. All the water rushes down, and it creates a flood. There's been a couple times the flood has hit one of the trams as they're driving through. This afternoon, we are that tram. Be careful if you're sitting on the left side, there's a flood coming. Now look up at one of the monitors And this is the same special effect in a scene from the film Big Fat Liar.
We'll see about that.
The Paramount film Nacho Libre with Jack Black also filmed out this little village. And then when we leave the village, we cross the border into the Old West. A part of our backlot, a small town where we made movies with cowboys like John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Kirk Douglas, and Clint Eastwood.
You're just gonna start things up here. You bet I am.
For silent movies, these sets are still used. Quentin Tarantino filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood out here. Sony film with Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. In the film, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is an actor, and he's guest starring on a Western television show. So they shot all the Western scenes out here in the movie that starred Tom Hanks, which also filmed on that street. Casper with Christina Ricci filmed in that part of the backlot. A lot of music videos and commercials. It was Wisteria Lane on the ABC textbook series Desperate Housewives. Back in the 70s, that's the street where all the frat houses were in our hit Animal House. We're going to be driving through 3 more movie sets back to back, and then we head back to the theme park, so we only have a few minutes left of the tour. We're almost home, but we're still riding around private property. So one final reminder, if you have any emergency before the tour is over, hold down on that red cord above you and have a seat so we can stop the tram. I'll see what you need help with. We use this part of the backlot at night every Wednesday through Sunday for Halloween horror nights. This area becomes the Terror Tram. It's called Enter the Blumhouse. And you get off the tram at night and you walk around the area and you're attacked by characters from the scary Blumhouse films like Megan, the Grabber from Black Phone, Babyface from Happy Death Day, and The Purge. And although they're not doing Halloween Horror Nights today, some of those characters are still hanging out in this area right in front of our official scale model of the Hollywood sign right in front of the tram. So you can get some pictures as they're driving by. They built the sets for Halloween Horror Nights right in front of the Bates Motel and the house that was used in Psycho. The Bates Motel is run by Norman Bates, who lives in the house at the top of the hill behind the motel. We're going to drive right by his house.
We all go on a mad sometimes.
Norman doesn't like when trams drive by his house. He gets pretty angry. Psycho was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense, starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates and Janet Leigh as Marion Crane. Right behind the Psycho house, an airplane crashed and destroyed a whole neighborhood. But Norman Bates didn't have anything to do with this. Aliens are responsible. This is all a set that was built for Paramount's War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steve.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep going, sorry. That's my hand. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Down close.
Bobby, get in. Get in.
That's the road that we're on right now. Now, although the houses on the right side of the tram are facades, the airplane is not. That's not just a set that they built to make it look like a plane. That was a real plane. And when they're making the movie, they got a full 747 And they did that to it. That was somebody's job on the set of World of Worlds to rip an airplane apart. And then the sets that we have right in front of the airplane, off to the left side of the tram, that's also part of our Halloween Horror Nights. The last movie set that we're going to be driving through on the tour is another little western town, and it's called Jupiter's Claim. And the town was built for the suspense film Nope. It was written and directed by Jordan Peele. Up ahead in a moment, we're going to stop in the middle of the set for a moment. We're going to give you time to get some pictures of the set. And to introduce it, I have the film's writer and director, Jordan Peele, and Kiki Palmer, who's currently starring in one of the television shows on the lot, The Burbs.
What's up, Studio Tour? I'm Kiki Palmer from Jordan Peele's film, Nope. What's a bad miracle? Well, you'll have to see our movie to answer that one. Until then, I hope you enjoy your visit to Jupiter's Claim.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jr. Park. Over there, look into the winking lamp and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Probably so live when you Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, the old rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the cosmos. What's
science fiction film that used a lot of CGI, a lot of computer effects. So while they're making the movie, behind the sets, they constructed big green screens and big blue screens, and later the computer effects could be added to where the screens were placed. Behind the Jupiter's Claim set on the right is a big blue backdrop that's also used for shooting special effects sequences. In front of the backdrop, behind the white trucks,